Hey, what is going on, guys? Alpha Gamer 12 here, and today we are doing a review of all the players in our team. So starting off, we have our goalkeeper Ryan. He is okay. He doesn't do anything remarkable, but he hasn't made any mistakes, so I'm actually quite happy with him. He saves everything that you're like, you know what, that probably needs to get saved, but anything that you're like, he probably won't save. So he saves everything that needs to be saved, but anything that's remarkable, you know, those game-changing moments, that's not really him. Next we have Aurier, who we have mostly as an investment, and I like Aurier. He's pretty good. He's not insane, defensively solid, can be outpaced sometimes, but he somehow, like, I guess his aggression makes up for the fact that he's not super strong. He feels really strong in games. He feels really compact. He's good going forward, but mostly he's a very solid defender with a shadow. He is pretty much as good of a right back as I could hope without having to go to Walker or something. So if you guys do want to pick him up, he's a good idea because both he's an investment and he's solid at right back. Next, we have Mr. Lindelof, who was solid. The running theme for all of my defense is that they were solid but nothing special. Lindelof was nice. He didn't get outpaced too much. He was strong. He was aerially pretty good. Not dominant necessarily. I wouldn't say he was insane, but he was pretty good. I was happy with him. Again, nothing like extraordinary, nothing insane, but he was definitely solid. He didn't make mistakes or anything. He was exactly what you want out of a center back. He was just there, got the job done. And that's pretty much what you could say for Rudiger as well. Rudiger is basically the same kind of thing. Rudiger is in the same kind of wheelhouse as Lindelof, where he just kind of defends everything, doesn't get outpaced, doesn't get pushed around, wins most headers, and is just an overall a pretty solid defender. Nothing to like shout home about or anything, but he was definitely solid. I could continue to use him and I would have no complaints. Of course, I mean, someone like Ramos or something would be better, but yeah, he's pretty solid. And then next we have Masuaku, who plays out on the left, who was really solid for me. I was really happy with Masuaku. Fast, doesn't get outpaced very much. He's very good going forward. The 4-star skills is a really nice thing to have. His defending is a lot better than it seems. His dribbling is nice, and he tracks back enough. He doesn't leave you exposed at the back, which is really nice. I don't know, though. That might be just because of the instructions that I have on him. Next, we have Torreira, who, honestly, guys, is probably one of my favorite players in the team. Probably my second favorite player in this team. The fact that he is so combative is insane. So King is probably my favorite player in the team, but he is so combative in the midfield. He is all over your opposition. It's incredible. He just will always be there when you need someone to track back. And he's always standing there in front of the defenders waiting to make a challenge. It's beautiful. The other thing with him is he doesn't feel like he has 66 strength. He feels like he probably has around 80 just because he is always aggressive and always pushing up against the opposition's forwards or midfielders. Other than that, his defending is perfect. I mean, whenever you need a tackle on him, I don't think he's mistackled almost ever. He is really good at dribbling, so if you need someone to carry the ball forward, he works. He can play as a central box-to-box midfielder just as long as you're not trying to like finish within the box with him. His finishing isn't even that bad, but I wouldn't like recommend you trying it. He's quick. He feels a lot faster than 75 pace. I would say he's closer to like 80, 85, somewhere in there. And his passing is very decent. Again, nothing insane. I think it's pretty obvious. 77 is probably around where he is. He passes well, but no like out of the world incredible passes. Just he gets the job done for passes. And like I said, his dribbling is nice and his defending is out of this world. I'm really happy with Lucas Torreira. Next, we have a player who I actually was really surprised by, which is Kouyaté. Now, I didn't expect Kouyaté to be very good. I haven't played that many games with him, but I didn't expect him to be insane. Really, he is. He is so strong, it's crazy. Like, you can't push him off the ball. There's no way you can. He's faster, he feels quicker, he feels probably around 75 pace. His passing is decent, even though it looks really garbage. And I haven't had any troubles with his dribbling. Like, he actually feels pretty good on the ball, which is kind of strange. But yeah, overall, I have no complaints about him. Obviously, he is cheap, he is low rated, so he's not incredible, but I'm quite happy with him. He's definitely someone to pick up for a starter team or something earlier on in the year where you don't necessarily have a ton of coins. Next, there's Naby Keita, who I actually am really disappointed in. Not really disappointed, but I'm pretty disappointed. I picked up this card thinking that it was most likely going to be a really nice attacking option. But honestly, I don't know if it's his bad attacking positioning or, I don't know, maybe it's work rates or something. But something about him just doesn't work for me. He doesn't get up enough. and he doesn't defend, so he's kind of just standing in the middle of the field doing nothing, and it kind of bugs me. He's there, I mean, like, it's not like he's made mistakes or anything, it's not like he's done anything like that, but it's just like, he doesn't do enough to be an 82 rated central midfielder, and I feel like he is the only weakness in my midfield. I mean, the other two midfielders were really solid, really nice. He was supposed to balance the fact that they're both pretty defensive, but he just really doesn't. His 88 dribbling feels probably closer to 80. I mean, he dribbles fine, but it's easy to dispossess him. He's not quick, his shooting isn't great, he can't defend, he's not physical, and his passing wasn't like above average or anything. So honestly, for me, Naby Keita was a big disappointment. If you need a center mid who's kind of just going to hang out in the midfield and try to, like, kind of how Cruz plays in real life, where he just kind of chills in the midfield, maybe dribbles by one person and then plays a pass, that's as much as you're going to get out of Keita. He's not going to, like, be the player that you want to carry the ball all the way up the field with or anything, because he's just not, like, built for that. That's not how he plays. So yeah, not Keita. I wouldn't do that. Next we have Lingard. And honestly, guys, Lingard is really good. I really like Lingard. He is nice going forward. Again, he's not like anything incredible. I definitely don't think he's worth the 5,000 coins I paid for him. But he's definitely a nice cam, especially if later on in the game, maybe when his price goes down a little bit, Lingard would be a nice card to pick up just to have. He feels a little bit quicker than 80, but he doesn't feel like insanely quick. For me, the best part of this card is the fact that he is good at dribbling, and he is always in the right position to play passes. So for me this year, what I do when I'm attacking is I play with my front three, and I try to play like passes in between them to open up space, and he is perfect for that. He's always in the right kind of place to play 1-2s and that kind of thing, and he's always able to beat at least one guy. I wouldn't necessarily try to run by 2 or 3 people with Lingard. I don't think he has that kind of dribbling. I don't think he's quick enough, but he's certainly got enough dribbling to like fly by one guy, one defender. And then his shooting, I have no complaints with. He's got good shooting, not insane shooting, but good shooting. He's never going to win a header, and he's never, like, you should never try to go into a situation where he could be pushed, because he will be pushed off the ball and you won't keep it. But overall, Lingard is solid. I'm quite happy with Lingard. Next off, we have one of the players that I don't know how to feel about. So, Divock Origi. Right, he is one of my strikers. He feels definitely like he's got better dribbling than that, and he definitely feels faster than that. So I'd say he probably feels around like an 85, 86, 87 paced player with around 80 dribbling and 80 shooting. He feels pretty strong, makes sense, and he is really good for holding up the ball and then releasing King behind him. So if you like to play with 2 strikers where one holds off the ball and then plays the other striker or the cam in, Origi is definitely a good player for that, because he's strong enough to hold off most center backs. He's not going to like push them off the ball or anything, but definitely just to hold the ball and wait for the center back to come so he can either turn them or play the ball past them. Origi is definitely your man. He's not necessarily a clinical finisher. I think he finishes the shots that he should finish most of the time. I mean, he's had 1 or 2 opportunities that I just really got mad because he definitely should have scored them. But 95% of the time, he finishes the shots that he needs to finish. His dribbling feels a lot better, like I said, and he definitely feels quick enough. So for me, Divock Origi is good. One thing that disappointed me, though, is that his heading is garbage. Don't let the 75 heading confuse you or deceive you. His heading is so bad. Alright, and then next, guys, we're going to move on to my favorite player in this team currently, and that is Joshua King. Now, King is actually insane. He's my favorite player so far in FIFA Ultimate Team that I've had the pleasure to use. He's better than Eden Hazard, who I'm going to talk about later, that I've had to use. He doesn't score that many goals, but I think that's just because I'm not very good at the game. I'm going to be honest, most of the games that I played with this team I got destroyed in. So for him to have 12 goal contributions in 9 games is pretty good. Obviously, he's fast. He is quick enough to blow by any defender that I've had so far. I don't think anyone has been able to keep up with him. His dribbling feels a lot better. He doesn't feel like he has 84 dribbling like it says there. He feels like he has much higher dribbling. I feel like he's got closer to the 90s. Honestly, I would feel like him and Keita could switch their dribbling ratings and it would make more sense. He's also quite strong. Doesn't feel like it's 77. It feels like it's closer to mid-80s. He definitely, not necessarily can hold players off the ball, but he's definitely not like weak enough where he's going to get bullied, which is an issue with some other players that I have used this year. His finishing has been clinical. I am happy with any shot that I've taken on his right foot. If you shoot with his left foot, it's a toss-up for what's going to happen. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend, if you can, shoot with his right. If you shoot with his left, God knows what you're going to get. But yeah, King is easily my favorite player. For a 79 rated player, he's definitely up there. I would say if you can pick up King, I would definitely do it. Alright guys, so the first inform that we packed this year, Koscielny, is a very solid center back. I think he's the best defender I've played with so far this year. He does feel a little bit slow, but he is aerially dominant. He's better in the air than both of my other center backs. His pace could be a little bit lacking, but I think with a shadow or an anchor, he'd be perfect. Honestly, he's a very good defender. Nothing insane, but I think definitely for the start of the game, he's a good investment to keep. Next, we're going to look at Vargas really quickly. He is fast. That's pretty much all I need to say about him. He has good long shots, surprisingly. Like if you finesse from the outside of the box, he has scored quite a few bangers like that for me. He's got good dribbling, but he's nothing incredible. He's like a starter team kind of player. Not like he's meta or anything, but he's definitely nice. I certainly like him, and I like the fact that he's got 90 pace. He feels like he's a lot faster than that. Next, we've got Hazard, who honestly was a disappointment for me, despite the fact that he scored 4 goals in 2 games. They were both in squad battles. Hazard does not feel fast. That's the truth. He does not feel like he's got 91 pace. He feels like he's got 80 pace. He feels really, really slow. He's slow to turn on the ball, which is surprising because of the dribbling. It might just be that I have high expectations from him, but I should have high expectations from him because he's got an insane card. So Hazard is a letdown. The only thing that I feel like was really good about this card was his shooting. He was shooting from outside of the box and just scoring stupid goals, but he feels slow. His dribbling feels slow. He just feels overall like a really, really heavy player to use, if that makes any sense. And then he gets bullied off the ball, and his attacking positioning somehow is horrible. He has 87 attacking positioning, but honestly, guys, in game, he felt like he had like 40 or 50. He was always in the wrong place. Not necessarily offside, just not in a place that he was helpful for me at all. So yeah, Hazard is a disappointment. Maybe it just is because he is alone, but honestly, guys, he's not worth the amount of coins that you're going to be paying right now. And yeah, I would rather use Vargas than I'd use Hazard. Alright, so Dennis is another player that I picked up because he looks really good for like a starting team or something, but honestly, a starting team is pretty much all he's good for. He gets bullied off the ball, his dribbling isn't very great. Pretty much all he is fast, and he's 92 pace, but he feels slower than Vargas, and I think that has to do with his lower ball control and dribbling. Honestly, yes, he is agile, and yes, he did score against Real Madrid the other day, but I'm not really happy with him, you know? Like, honestly, I could do without playing with him. He's kind of just meh. I think that's the best way to describe him. He's meh. If you need a fast winger, sure, use him, but his end product is bad, and his passing is bad, and his dribbling is meh, so I would not bother with him. Yeah, and then next we have the center back that goes next to him, guys. His name is Deli, and I'm actually pretty happy with Deli. Deli was strong. Obviously, he was very, very strong, and he was tall. So, I mean, for a starter center back, this guy is definitely closer, or the closest thing that I think that I have to meta. This guy was solid defensively. He felt like he was a much better defender than he was. The dribbling was nice. I mean, from the back, like just to get rid of pressure. He was never outpaced. He's a quick center back. And obviously he was strong and he was aerially dominant. So yeah, all around this guy was really, really good. I would definitely use him in a starter squad. I could continue to use him for a little while if there were better links for him. But yeah, if you need a center back who's just really cheap and is just kind of all around nice, I would definitely say this is a guy for you. Alright guys, and so we're on to Francis Coquelin, who honestly, yeah, he was solid. He's pretty much all around good at everything. I mean, I was never disappointed by anything he did. He didn't wow me, ever, but he was definitely just in the right place at the right time, always defensively, and he was always helpful. Like, wasn't like a great attacking presence, but he was definitely there if I needed an out ball to like reset the play and then come at the opposition in a different direction. So I was definitely happy with Coquelin. He didn't cost me that much. 1,300 coins is definitely a good price for him. If you need a Liga BBVA center mid and you don't have a lot of money, he's definitely a good one to go for because he's all around pretty good. And then Castile is actually one of the most surprising players I have in the team. He was so good. He was saving like literally everything, and for 350 coins, he's amazing. So if you need a Ligue 1 goalkeeper who's French, he is your man. He saved everything, and he was actually better than Ryan because he actually made some saves that I was like, I thought that was for sure in, and I didn't think any goalkeeper in the game would save this. But yeah, he was really good. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know if you guys want these to be longer or shorter, if you guys want to see more of these or not. And you guys, if you guys haven't subscribed, please do. It means so much. And as always, guys, I will see you guys next time.